Once upon a time.
Once upon a time.
Once upon a time.
So once upon a time,
there was a young girl.
Was a girl named Little Red Riding Hood.
They called her Little Red Riding Hood.
She was wearing a red hoodie.
This is a story about
Little Red Riding Hood.
there was a little girl, and her name was Little Red Riding Hood. I don't know what her parents were thinking, but that was her name.
Her name was Trudy.
Sassy. That's what her name was.
Her name was Harley.
Her real name was Helen. Her stage name was Little Red Riding Hood.
But when she came home, her mother was in the kitchen quite upset.
And her mom told her that her grandmother was ill.
Could you please go bring her this basket of goodies?
Take this basket of goodies to your grandmother.
It's full of your daily vitamin B's.
I brought her some chili beans.
There was some bread and cheese.
Crackers and...
You know, she has some vodka in there. And
Oh yeah, nothing like this.
Krispy Kreme donuts.
Fiber. And
2 playgirls because, you know, Grandma's not dead yet.
And she asked Red Riding Hood to take it to her grandmother.
Grandma had been on a bender.
Have you been having a little bit too much of that hooch again?
Grandma had a drinking problem.
As Sassy was leaving, her mom said,
Don't you dare talk to any big bad wolves.
She was told to be very careful of big bad wolves that prey on little girls.
and make sure you bring your laser gun.
Do you mind doing that for Mommy? No, Mama. I don't care to take that to Grandma's house.
It's actually starting to get a little bit dark.
She was taking this path through the woods.
And she's walking through the woods.
Little Red Riding Hood hopped through the floors.
She was skipping through the forest.
Now, as she was walking along,
and she sees this wolf.
Lurking all this time was the big, bad wolf.
she knew she was going into Wolf Major's territory.
this big black and white wolf, he almost was like a skunk.
What can I do for you, Mr. Wolf?
Hey, Lorette, what are you doing?
Where are you going, little girl?
So where are you going?
Baby, I've been following you for weeks.
Red Riding Hood, remembering what her mother had said, decided not to answer.
And she didn't know it was bad to talk to a wolf. She thought the wolf was fine. She thought it was just like a dog or something.
She goes, well, I'm going to my grandma's house.
Ah, your grandmother, is it? Said the wolf. Where does your grandmother live?
She told her the street and the address and all that stuff. Real stupid kid. You know, you don't talk to strangers, much less for wolves like that.
The wolf was speeding through the wood.
That big bad wolf took the shortcut.
He runs into Granny's cottage.
Grandma's house was a double wide.
And with one jump, he leapt into bed with Grandma, and I'm just too much of a lady to say what happened next.
She's like, trying to make out with the wolf, and, he just clunks her in the head and throws Grandma in the closet.
And he grabbed Granny, he put her in the cupboard, and gave her a big bottle of red wine.
She got to Grandma's house.
Finally gets to her grandmother's house.
There's a knock on the door, and of course it's Little Red Riding Hood.
She knocks on the door. Come in!
Come in, my dear.
Yes, Little Red Riding Hood, come in.
Says a voice. So she comes in.
There's Granny, on the bed, and she's looking kind of strange.
Come on in and get close to Grandma's bed.
Hi, Grandma. I brought you a basket of stuff.
Grandma, your voice doesn't sound quite right.
It's because I'm not well, said the wolf.
What big eyes you have?
The better to see you with, my dear.
It was like, Grandma, you have like freaking big ears, man. And Grandma was like, just better to hear you with, my dear.
What a big nose you have. Oh, darling. I was just on 90210.
You're hairy. And she said, that's to keep me warm while I have this cold.
Holy smokes. Grandma needs some hormone therapy.
Little Red Riding Hood's thinking Grandma's just drunk,
Oh, my grandma. You're slobbering an awful lot. He says, it's because I'm hungry.
Then she started like sharpening her teeth with a nail filer.
Oh, what big teeth you have.
Grandma, you need to go to the dentist because your dentures are not working for you no more.
All the better to eat you with.
Little Red shrieked and jumped onto the practicing pole that Granny had installed for her.
That's not you. That's not you, Grandma.
So Little Red Riding Hood grabbed one of the vodka bottles out of the basket and clunked the wolf in the head.
And with that, he ate her, just like Grandma, not even chewing. So I don't know what he needed teeth for, but he swallowed her whole.
The wolf was big and fat because in his tummy he'd got Red Riding Hood and Grandmother.
The door opens up, and Lumberjack comes in.
Here I am to save the day!
So he put two and two together, and he took his axe, and he hacked that wolf open.
So he shaked him a bit. He said, go away and be a good boy now.
And he grabbed the wolf and made him spit out Grandmother, who was a bit frazzled by the whole experience.
Chases that wolf deep, deep into the forest where he belongs.
And she goes to the closet, and it's Grandma sitting in there giggling. It was just a big hoax.
They lived happily ever after, and I'm certain that Lumberjack and Riding Red had loads of kids.
And of course the moral of the story is always do as your mother tells you.
And you should never, never talk to strangers.
The end.
The end.
The end.
Who's that walking in these woods? Well, I believe that's Little Red Riding Hood.
You know, she was told that there were woods in these, she was told, start this again.
Along the way, Little Red Riding Hood, you say Little Red Riding Hood a few times.
The thing is, he made a lot of noise while he was doing all this. And next door there was a lumberjack guy, an axe person.
Woo!
So, come on in, dearie, so I can look at you more closely. Oh, that voice is hard to do.
Grandma, what happened to your eyes? I just got LASIK surgery, darling.
And no biggie. Of course, the moral... Hey, you! Stop fidgeting. Always do as your mother tells you. There's always a reason for it.
And she said, but Grandma... I don't know what else she said. Well, you got a big something.
Grandma thought, doesn't quite sound like my granddaughter. She must be hitting the pipe again.
Bam! Shoot! Bam, bam! Shoot, bam!
One big Grandma coming out.
Granny, are you up and about yet, you old hoe?
I'm really useless at telling these stories. I hope you can do something with this, Adrian, because I'm really... This is crazy shit. Anyway, good night.